blessing us with a talk today, Believing in Life. The focus of the talk is the awakening to the spirit within. Please help me to introduce you this beautiful lady who blesses out every single month with a beautiful talk. Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
Boy, this better be a good talk, huh?
It's going to.
Well, good morning. Happy Easter. How we doing? We're good? Yeah. There's been a lot of energy in this room this morning. We're not always used to that, right? We sometimes have a lot of more contemplative energy, but I like the upbeat stuff. I love being here with you, as you know. And for those of you who are not familiar with me, I bring all of these notes, right? I bring pages and pages of notes, and I start off with note number 1, and then who knows where I go from there. I never know what I'm going to say. That's what I post on Facebook. Can't wait to hear what I have to say. So let's go on this journey together, right? The talk title is Believing in Life. And when I say life, I mean the power of life, that divine life that is within each and every one of us. Did you notice I didn't say it's in all of us except for? I didn't exclude anyone, right? So when we go out this week and we think about this wonderful celebration, let's keep that first and foremost in the front of our minds, because that's the most important thing that I have found recently, in recent months, as I'm trying to deal with all of the challenges that life has to bring, with all of the challenges that our world is showing us. It's all an appearance. There is no separation. Jesus didn't know about separation. He knew, right? The story goes on Easter Sunday that Jesus is crucified, and on the third day he rose from the dead. So just think about it for a second. Think about what it would have been like to live in that time frame. What would you have felt if you were just a bystander, not an apostle or not, one of his followers, but just, on the outside looking in, and you get that news report that says Jesus has risen. Right? It comes across your little TV. What would you think? Would you not believe it? Would you believe it? I often try to, this is a tool that we use in Unity sometimes, take yourself and put yourself into the character in the story in the Bible. What would it have felt like to be the woman who goes to the tomb and finds it empty? What would that feel like? Right? What would it feel like to be Jesus? Knowing that one of your followers is going to betray you, you're going to be crucified. It's not, an instant death. It takes hours. And then you're going to rise from the dead. In the Bible, the story goes that, Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane. I think I said that right. And he's praying, Father, please take this from me if it's your will, but if it's not, he's saying, I'll do it if I have to. But even he, in that human experience that he was having, right, he asked, if I really don't have to, could you kind of, but he didn't back off. He stayed the course, right? What would that have felt like? Put yourself into the story. That's what this is all about. That's what Unity has taught me. Unity has taught me a lot of things. Number 1 is to question everything. Now, I was raised in a traditional church setting, very strict church upbringing, right? So I remember those early childhood memories of going to Easter Sunday Mass. But I have this story that I share with you often. We went to church every single Sunday. So of course, Easter Sunday, we had the bonnet on, which you look beautiful today. And And we had the gloves and the patent leather shoes and the dress and everything was perfect. And then we went home and fought for a week until the next Sunday when we had to go back and dress up all over again for whatever the day was. I remember Palm Sunday, they used to read the Passion story every Palm Sunday. It felt like it took hours. It took 20 minutes, but it felt like hours. Is this ever going to be done? Right? It just was one of those things. I didn't have an appreciation back then for what was going on. I certainly didn't know that I was going to end up in unity. And I certainly didn't know I was going to end up in unity as a minister, right? So that whole story is crazy. But here's my point. I want to talk about believing today. I think it's really important in today's world, right here, right now, that we really focus. And you've heard me every month this year talk about, what do you believe? What do you really believe? Are you questioning what you believe? For instance, do you really believe in oneness? Or are you one with everybody except the people in Washington, D.C.? And I'm not excluding anybody from that grouping, right? Do I believe in oneness, yes or no? Right now, I can tell you yes. See me next week, I might not, right? But that's the beauty of unity, is that I can continue to explore, that I can continue to think about, I can continue to question, and I am not going to be swallowed up whole by the earth because I'm a sinner. It doesn't work that way, right? I keep questioning, I keep asking, I keep, in community having discussions, right? We're very gentle with ourselves when we question. We don't say, oh, we can't think that, and then get upset with ourselves and judge ourselves, because then that stops the flow of the energy that we need to be able to continue the exploration of what we believe. I'm going to share two quotes with you. I love to share quotes on the topic of the story. One is from Anne Frank. Despite everything, I believe that people are really good at heart. Isn't that something to come from a young girl who was killed by the Nazis? Despite everything, I believe that people are really good at heart. I believe that too. That's our principle number 2, that inherently people are good. It doesn't say that they're appearing that way all the time on a human level, right? But it says inherently we are good. If we come from God, there is a goodness in us. We just have to tap into it. We have to be willing to tap into it. We have to be willing to do the next right thing. Right? Here's one from Martin Luther King Jr. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. And think about what happened to him, right? Assassinated a long time ago, and yet his words live on. Right? So my question to you, I always give you a question, don't I? What are you choosing to believe? And the reason I say that is because if I'm looking at a headline, right, I will admit I don't click on a lot of links anymore because I don't want to read about the terrible details of the latest negative headline that I'm seeing, right? So I don't really read the story. But if I look at a headline, am I going to choose to believe it right then and there? Or am I going to choose to say, nope, didn't happen? And either way, I'm kind of wrong because I'm not investigating it at all, right? I'm not even looking into it. Right now, that's the way I am taking care of myself. I'm really just scrolling past. I'm looking for kitty cats. I'm looking for puppies, right? I'm looking for people celebrating in recovery, celebrating anniversaries in recovery. I'm looking for people celebrating accomplishments in unity. I'm looking for good stuff, right? The little kittens and the little puppies take precedence, though. I will admit that. But the question, what am I choosing to believe? Am I going to choose that it's always the negative and it's always against one particular group of people? Or am I going to give them the benefit of the doubt and really do the research and look at it before I form an opinion? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. As a Unity minister, I'm expected to welcome everybody with open arms. And for the most part, I do that. I do that. But in this head of mine, there's some judgment going on from time to time, right? Can you relate at all? Yeah, a little bit? Yeah. Yeah. So I work on it, right? I don't condemn myself. I'm working on it. But what am I choosing to believe? So belief, according to Unity, an inner acceptance of an idea that is true. Belief functions both consciously and subconsciously. To erase these hidden error beliefs, if you have error thinking, that's what we define as sin. Sin is not something that is going to send you away to purgatory or hell for the rest of your life. Sin is just error thinking, right? So I correct my thinking, I'm back on the straight and narrow, on the beam, whatever you want to call it, right? To erase hidden error beliefs, a comprehensive program of denial is necessary. Now, when it says denial is necessary, it does not mean, nope, if I don't look at it, it's not there. That's not what denial means. Denial means I'm not going to give power to that negative thinking. I'm not going to give power to what might be misleading, what might be a lie, anything like that. I'm not going to give power to it. Then I affirm truth. So what is truth? We just heard ourselves singing it. I am light. When you leave here today, if you go out into the real world with the earthlings, right? People who may not have any kind of spiritual practice, people who may not have any kind of program at all, people who, don't always get it, right? If you go out there, what would your life look like if you came across as if you truly believed you were light? I will be honest with you, when I remember that I'm light, I am glowing. I am on target. I am sharing with people. I am listening. Listening is a big one. I am listening to people and not just talking about me, right? But when I'm not feeling it, I don't demonstrate it out there. And the only way that I can see for us to make a difference is to go out there and be the light that we already are. Okay? If we don't believe that there is separation, if we believe in oneness, then we are connected to everyone, and we are never not light. Your human feelings may tell you otherwise, but if you can remember, right? In other words, we don't pray to connect with God. How many times have we said, I'm guilty of it all the time. I always say that, right? I'm praying, I'm connecting with God. No, I'm already connected to God. I tend to call God source or universe because I think that gives me a better understanding of what God really is. Oh my gosh, my collar was under the whole time. Did you notice that? I'm sorry. I just realized it as I reached up. To me, God is not a separate being in the sky looking down upon me and zapping me every so often with a challenge, right? God is within. God is a divine energy inside of me. So when I use the words like divine mind, God mind, universe, it gives me a better chance at remembering that I've already got the divinity. I don't have to hope for more. I don't have to guess. I already know. And then I can present myself from that higher level of consciousness, right? So what if I said to you that right here, right now, we are all part of a global awakening? What would you think, right? I mean, it sounds great at first, right? Doesn't it? Oh boy. And then it's like, me? I'm a part of a global awakening, really? Like, what am I doing? And how can I be a part of a global awakening? That's what we need to take with us today. That's what we can focus on, right? If I choose to believe that I am a part of a global awakening on this Easter Sunday morning, where the resurrection of Jesus is symbolic of the Christ presence awakening within me, if I believe all of that, look out, world. Here comes Rev KK. Right?
Look out.
Look out. Look out. But it's up to me. It's up to you. What are you choosing to believe today? What are you choosing to believe in this moment? Don't even have to worry about a whole day. If you're like me, my thoughts are all over the place all day long, right? So, it's a big question. But we are faced with a big challenge in this country and on this planet. We're not going to get there staying in a consciousness of separation from other groups of people who may or may not think like I do. We have to find a way to start listening to each other, even if it's just a little bit at a time, right? But we're not going to get there if we keep posting on Facebook what idiots the other group is. We're not going to get there if we keep name calling. It's not helping at this point. I get it. I get the frustration anybody could be feeling at any moment, right? Because everybody has their own filter as to what they think is the next right thing to do. Some people agree with what's happening. Some people don't agree with what's happening. Some people don't have a clue as to what's happening, right? There's a lot of people out there that don't really know. And some of those people who don't really know are forming opinions anyway. Have you ever done that? I have. Yeah. Have you, Fiona? Yeah, I have. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not alone. Thank you for that. Because I think that it's one of those things that as soon as I'm willing to admit it, I can improve. Right? But I have to admit it. Just because I'm a minister standing up here doesn't mean anything. We're all in this together. We all have our own understandings. I just happened to get some education at Unity Village. I got ordained by Jim Rosemurgy, by the way. And, you know, he was a wonderful mentor to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in June. And I also know that we do this together. When we meet on a Friday night and we discuss whatever it is that we're discussing, we meet, we talk, we hear, we listen to each other, and we learn from each other. There is no teaching, it's facilitating. May this Easter fill your heart with joy, deeper faith, and the assurance that all things are made new. We can do this daily. We can do this hourly. We can remember that we are new and growing day after day after day. Who's going to join me? Ready? And so it is. Amen. Amen. All right. Yes. Let's take some of these ideas into a short meditation. Let's see where Spirit takes you. I invite you to get comfortable in your seats and just begin by taking some nice, slow, deep breaths. You may close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. You do not have to close your eyes. But focus on the breath. Just breathing in. Feel the air coming in through your nose, going down through your throat, into your abdomen. And as you exhale out, feel that air coming back up through and out your nose and or your mouth. There's an energy that you are feeling inside of you and all around you. That energy is divine in nature. There is a power deep within each and every one of us. We welcome the awakening that is happening. May the words that I speak now be the words of your own heart. The 5 unity principles say God is, I am, I think, I pray, and I live. As I think, I claim my power to choose what I believe. As I live, I recognize it is not enough to study and memorize principles. It is important to use what I am learning, put it into practice. No need for perfection. Simply strive for excellence. I am part of a global awakening. It is unfolding on this planet at this very moment. And I'm committed to doing my part by simply tuning into what I am choosing to believe in each moment. I am willing to consider the possibility of changing my mind at any time. I will not judge myself. I welcome Spirit moving through me. I keep an open mind and an open heart. And knowing that in any given moment, all is well, regardless of appearances. Jesus was a living expression of the divine. May I follow that example and show the world what that can be. And so it is. Amen. Before you open your eyes, please take a couple of deep breaths to bring yourself back to this place and this time. Follow the breath. Feel the divine energy moving within. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Welcome back, friends.